Alright guys, for the 3rd out of 6 workouts of the UnScared weightlifting home workouts, all you're going to need is a stick, so today you can work on the jerk. We're going to have a lot of emphasis on the dip, drive and power jerk, but there's going to be some split work in there as well. So even if you've never done splits before, grab this opportunity to get a little bit of practice in and to kind of like feel it out a bit, especially if you're new to this. What we're going to start with is a warming up with Marloes. You guys are going to join in one round with her, so just tag along. And after that, you guys can pause and do 2 more rounds. Marloes is going to start with 10 cyclist squats. That means you get your heels on elevation. Just use a big book or whatever. If you don't have any elevation, you could also do it without. Fairly narrow stance. She's going to do a cyclist squat, but without locking out at the top and without going all the way down. So she's going to do 10 repetitions like this. So she has constant tension on her upper legs. So her legs should be burning after 10 reps or so. Just a little bit, nothing too extreme. Good. Then she's going to do 10 alternating Cossack squats. I'm not going to be super strict about movement standards or about turning your toes out and keep your legs straight. If you have a super wide stance and you just sink into one position so you get a little bit of a stretch on the groin, that is the purpose. The purpose is not a perfect Cossack squat in the sense of whatever movement standard we have in CrossFit. I just want to see you guys warm up the lower body in different directions. That's the main point here. So don't worry too much about the details here. Alright, after 10 repetitions, she's going to go into a lunge on the floor, or split squat, however you want to call it. Yeah. And then she's going to stretch the ankle for 20 seconds, so you can go all the way down onto the floor. And she's going to lean on her right knee. She's going to push it in the direction of her toes. Keep her heel firmly planted into the floor, so that she does not wobble forward. And she's going to stretch for 20 seconds. She's going to do that on both sides. Ankles tend to be pretty stiff with a lot of people. So you definitely want to get a lot of ankle work done. Same story, knee in line with the toes, heel in the floor. Push with your whole body weight if necessary. Grab your own ankle if necessary. If you feel your ankle going up, I don't care. Just make sure you get a nice big stretch there in the ankle. Then you grab your stick, your dowel, your broomstick, whatever you're using. You're going to do 10 shoulder dislocations first. Wide grip. Straight arms, you're going to touch the front and back of the torso. Don't worry too much about the exact grip. If you have a very mild stretch around the shoulders, you're probably doing fine. If you feel absolutely nothing, it's probably too wide. And if you have it too narrow, you're probably just going to have a lot of unnecessary discomfort. So 10 repetitions of this. With a grip, it gives you a mild stretch, nothing more than that. Then you're going to do another 10 repetitions, 5 to one side. Yeah, 5 in that direction. And 5 in the other, so you're hopefully going to kind of stretch up the shoulders in a slightly different direction. 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. Very good. Try not to do anything with the rest of your body. It's all upper back and shoulders what's doing the work here. Once you've done that, you're going to grab a supinated grip on the stick. That means your palms are going to be facing up. You're going to get it overhead. And then you're going to sit on your knees by a bench or a chair. You could do it standing if you wish, but you're going to get a way better stretch like this. She's going to get her head down. She's going to push the stick down as much as possible. And from here, she's going to arch the back. There's different variations of this. So you're not trying to make a hollow position with the abs. You're trying to arch the back because this is a mid-back stretch. And she's kind of leaning with her body weight into the stretch. So she gets a nice stretch along the upper back, a little bit around the shoulders, and hold this for 20 seconds total. And then come up. That's one round of the warming up. You guys are going to do 2 more rounds at your own pace. Again, don't rush through it. Make sure all your joints get nice and warm. Feel out the stretches a bit. 2 more rounds. Press pause. For the second segment of this workout, we are going to focus on the jerk, mostly the power jerk, and we're going to run you guys through a bunch of drills. What we're going to do here is Marloes is going to do an exercise. You guys can just join in with the stick. Get the stick into your strict press position. So for grip width, roughly outside the shoulders, so maybe like a thumb length off the shoulders. You have a bit of leeway here. When you're in doubt, please don't worry about it too much. If it's right outside the shoulders, you're probably good. She's going to make a strict press, and once she's at the top, she's going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then back forward, and then she's going to go back down. Yep, stick back down. All right, let's show this from this side. She's going to make a strict press, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then the shoulder blades back forward, and then back down. Yep, that's good. Press, squeeze, and back. Press, squeeze, the shoulder blades back forward. So you're going to exaggerate the end position a bit. It's not about pressing the weight backwards, it's about squeezing the upper back. Do not shrug. What I want to see is that you're squeezing the upper back together so that you have a strong upper back instead of being all wobbly overhead, right? So you do 10 repetitions of this. Squeeze and back. Do it controlled. Don't rush into that squeeze. It's press, squeeze, back. Then you do 10 up and outs. So she's going to get her chin onto the stick. And then she's going to hit her elbows up and out. Yep, exactly. Up and out. It's a bit weird with the stick. It's a lot better with a barbell. But even with the stick, if you just press down with your chin and you grab the stick firmly, doing this is also fine. For at least 10 per side, so it's 20 total. Try to find that stretch around the shoulder, upper back, upper arm area. Then you're going to do 10 front squats. So you get the stick in front rack position. If you can manage to keep it in the air, right above the shoulders, you make 10 front squats. Make sure it looks pretty, just like in all these other weightlifting workouts. We're doing this for quality of movement, learning to use your body, improving technique, improving mobility. It's not about going super fast or getting super strong from using a broomstick, right? All right, once you've done 10 of each of these, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to repeat that for a whole round, so 10 each. So you guys are going to press pause and then do the whole thing before you move on to the next one. Press pause now. Next segment, we're going to work on the dip and drive. So whenever we do jerks or push presses, we dip and drive with the legs. We kind of make like that little jumpy movement. That's what we're going to focus on now. So Marloes is going to get the stick on her front rack position. She's going to make jerk dip squats. She's going to sink down, controlled, and hold, and back up. She's going to do this 10 times. Might look boring, it's actually pretty hard to do. Because what I want to see is knees in line with the toes. I don't want to see them excessively out or certainly not in. I want the elbows to be fairly neutral. I don't want her to throw her elbows into the air or keep the elbows all the way down. And I want to see that back pretty straight up. Right? I don't want to see her leaning over, I want to see her straight down. Even if I were to stand right in front of her here, she should be able to go down without making it super awkward for either of us. It might be a bit awkward, it's fine. 10 repetitions of that. Practice, do some extra reps if you're not sure if you're doing this right or not. Next one is going to be a push press. You use that dip to drive with the legs. And you do 10 repetitions of that. Simple, you guys have probably done this 1,000 times before. But I want some extra attention for that dip. You just practice your jerk dip squat. Do that same thing in the push press. You don't want to lean over, you want straight back down. Pretend it's 100 kilos. You're not going to get that up with your arms. You're going to get that up by driving with the legs. So do that 2 times. Get that stick over your feet, behind the head the whole time. Awesome. You're going to do that for 10 repetitions. Then you're going to keep that same grip. You're going to get the stick overhead. You're going to do overhead squats. Now, this is going to hurt for a lot of people. So just do half range of motion if necessary. You can see that Marloes has crazy flexibility. But even with her, you see the stick wants to come forward a bit. So then just go a little bit less deep. That's fine, because now it looks way better. And we're not going to do squat jerks, don't worry, so you don't have to go super deep. What I just want you to do is to be a bit challenged in your upper back to keep the stick in place, rather than getting the stick out in front. Alright. Again, these 3 exercises, 10 more repetitions each. So you guys will see the names in the screen. Do it at your own pace. Again, don't rush it. Go through them for quality. Then you're going to join us for the next few movements. Press pause now. For the next few, we're going to go into the power jerk. We're going to do 3 variations. The first one, for 10 repetitions, is a power jerk where you pause the dip and the catch. So she's going to dip, pause, jerk, hold, and then she's going to do the next repetition. So you can have some extra attention for that nice straight down dip position before she actually jumps herself under the bar. She drives with the legs and she gets down. It's good. You'll see there's not a lot of movement in the torso. She stays fairly straight up, slightly up, goes back down, slight forward lean in the catch, which is fine. there is not a lot of movement in there, not a lot of forward leaning or going super deep on anything. You're going to do this for 10 repetitions. Once you've done that, you're going to do another 10 repetitions, but now you're only going to pause overhead. So use the dip and drive, bounce, hold, like that. So you're not pausing in the dip anymore, now you're making the rebound, and up. So now there's only one pause in the movement. Either way, you're still focusing on dipping straight down and catching it properly with the bar over the base of the neck, right? The weight, if it's 100 kilos, needs to be on the shoulder blades, not in front of you, not over your nipples. It's just going to be awkward. After 10 of these repetitions, you're going to do a regular power jerk. You don't have to pause it. You can pause it, I don't care, but still you're going to do 10 more repetitions. Just a regular power jerk. Hold, stand up, you can go back. So you don't have to hold it up top for 1 or 2 seconds anymore. This is fine. We're just trying to get into the flow of the movement. This needs to become automatic. This is a rhythm practice. At the same time, make sure that back stays straight the whole time. If you have a little foot movement going on, that's fine. Don't overthink it too much. So, once you've done all these 3 variations for 10 repetitions, again, you guys press pause, do 10 repetitions of the whole thing again at your own pace. Yes, you are going to go back into paused work even if you've done the normal ones, because I want you to do more of that practice. We're talking about, if you want to improve your technique seriously, you should be doing a few hundred reps per week at least of practice. So go back to it, do it again, do it with effort, with focus, then join us for the next few movements. Press pause again. All right, for the last version of the jerk today, the split jerk, we're going to do some practice in finding the position and finding our balance especially. We've done a lot of work on the dip and the drive and such. That's fine for now. What Melissa's going to do, she's going to show you how you find a split position. She's going to go in a split squat on the floor. She's just going to sit down all the way. So what I want to see here is her feet are roughly shoulder width or so, and you can see her toes pointing forward. She is not going to be leaning in or out with the heels too much. Toes pointing forward or slightly in. Her front knee is over the knee, so join us and make sure you do the same thing. Knee over the ankle, knee under the shoulder here. So this is a straight line here. From here, she's going to go up halfway. Yeah, a little bit higher. Yeah, don't make it too hard on yourself. Now she's going to press the floor apart, so she's going to push her feet apart from each other. This is your split position. Every time you are not sure if you're in the right position, check yourself on the floor, knee over the ankle, knee under the shoulder. Only when she comes up, you will see that the knee is behind the shoulder. That's what we're looking for. Perfect. So from this position, we're just going to grab the stick and do 10 strict presses. Now the thing here is, because of the stick and moving back and forth, you're challenging your balance a bit. And what I want to see is the whole time, same position, same balance. Your weight should be spread pretty evenly on both feet. A lot of people lean on the front foot too much. I want to see it on both feet. You're going to do 10 repetitions of this with the same balance maintained the whole time. And then comes the fun part, because whatever side you chose, if it's your preferred foot or not, you're going to switch to the other foot. You're going to do the same thing. So you're going to go down, find your split, knee over the ankle, knee under the shoulder, toes are going to be slightly inwards, and she's going to come up halfway. Push the floor apart, push the floor apart as if you're trying to stand on 2 plates and push them apart. 10 more presses, and find your balance here as well. Even if you have a preferred side, which usually people have for the split, it's still good to practice the other side, even if it's just for balanced mobility and such, so you do not grow into one side during your squats, for example, especially if you do split jerks a lot of the time. This is not something you have to do with heavy weights, but just with a stick, it can be very beneficial just for overall body control and symmetry to practice both sides. What you guys are going to do is, once this video finishes, you guys are going to do at least 2 more rounds on each side. So that means 20 repetitions per side. First you're going to find your split again. You're going to do more repetitions. Feel free to do some extra work, but at the very least do 20 more reps on each side and really hammer in that split position. That is something that needs to become automatic. If it is not, you're going to have a very hard time doing split jerks. So that's it for today. Hope to see you guys next time on one of our other weightlifting workouts.